It is this eternal dance that separates human beings from angels, from demons, from gods. And I must not forget, we must not forget, that we are human beings.
Hey there, welcome back. As I said at the end of the last video, this one I'm going to be taking a look at the song Hi Ren. Hi Ren is by far Ren's most viewed song. Last time I looked making this video it was at 56 million views. Could well be the most reacted to song on YouTube though. Like I said in the last video, it crosses genres, and so there have been rappers and rock musicians and guitar players and voice coaches and opera singers and, you know, any genre you can think of in music, they're reactors to it. And in addition to that, therapists and psychologists and prison officers and movie directors, do you know what I mean? Like, so many people have reacted to this. So I'd say it may well be the most reacted to song on YouTube. I can't be certain of that, it's just my sense. But just to be clear, this is not a reaction video. What I'm doing here is using the notion of Ren as a bard, trying to look at the themes that he sings about and their applicability more broadly in the culture and to us as men and women in that culture, and as well as a commentary on the themes in his songs. This is also kind of a form of curation. I sort of have a storyline in my head that I'm wanting to follow to take my audience through. Just one final thing. You know how you're forever being asked on YouTube to like and subscribe and hit notifications, bells and all that kind of thing. I don't give a shit about any of that. However, I would like to ask that you make an effort to share these videos in your own circle, in your own network. If not these videos, then Ren's videos. It's not about self-promotion. This is just about getting Ren out there as widely as possible. This is how he's built his audience, is by word of mouth. And I think he is a super important artist, and as I said in my first video, is going to become increasingly important. That's my opinion anyway. Alright, let's get into it.
Hi there, Ren. It's been a little while. Did you miss me? You thought you buried me, didn't you? Risky. Cause I always come back. Deep down you know that. Deep down you know I'm always in periphery. Ren, are you pleased to see me? It's been weeks since we spoke, bro. I know you need me. You're the sheep, I'm the shepherd. Not your place to lead me. Not your place to be biting off the hand that feeds me. Hi, Ren. I've been taking some time to be distant. I've been taking some time to be still. I've been taking some time to be by myself since my therapist told me I'm ill. And I've been making some progress lately. And I've learned some new coping skills. So I haven't really needed you much, man. I think we need to just step back and chill. Ren, you sound more insane than I do. You think that those doctors are really there to guide you? Been through this a million times. Your civilian mind is so perfect to always being lied to. Okay, take another pill, boy. Drown yourself in the sound of white noise. Follow this 10-step program, rejoice. All your problems will be gone. Fucking dumb boy. Nah, mate. This time is different, man. Trust me. I feel like things might be falling in place. And my music's been kinda doing bits too. Like I actually might do something great. And when I'm gone, maybe I'll be remembered for doing something special with myself. That's why I don't think that we should talk, man. Cause when you're with me, it never seems to help. You think that you can amputate me? I am you, you are me, you are I am we are one. Split in two, that makes one. So you see, you gotta kill you if you wanna kill me. I'm not leftover dinner, I'm not scraps on the side. Oh, your music is thriving, delusional guy. Where's your top 10 hit? Where's your interview with Oprah? Where are your Grammys, Ren? Nowhere.
Yeah, but my music's not commercial like that. I never chase numbers, statistics or stats. I never write hooks for the radio, they never even play me, so why would I concern myself with that? But my music is really connecting, and the people who find it respect it. And for me that's enough, cause this life's been tough, so it gives me a purpose I can rest in. Man, you sound so pretentious. Ren, your music is so self-centered. No one wants to hear another song about how much you hate yourself. Trust me. You should be so lucky, having me inside you to guide you, remind you to manage expectations, provide you perspective. That thing you neglected, I get it. You wanna be a big deal, next Jimi Hendrix, forget it. Man, it's not like that.
Man, it's just like that. I'm inside you, you twat.
No, it's not, man, you're wrong. When I write, I belong.
Let me break the fourth wall by acknowledging this song. Ren sits down, has a stroke of genius. He wants to write a song that was not done previous. A battle with the subconscious. Eminem did it.
Played on guitar.
Plan B did it.
Man, you're not original, you criminal rip-off artist. The pinnacle of your success is stealing other people's material.
Ren, mate, we've heard it all before.
She sells seashells on the seashore. Fuck you, I don't need you, I don't need to hear this. Cause I'm fine by myself, I'm a genius. And I will be great, and I will make waves, and I'll shake up the whole world beneath us.
That's right, speak your truth, your fucking God complex leaks out of you. It's refreshing to actually hear you say it instead of downplay it.
Music is all about the creative process, and if people can find something to relate to within that, then that's just a bonus. Fuck you, I'ma fucking kill you, Ren.
Well, fucking kill me then, let's fucking have you, Ren.
I'ma do it, watch me prove it. Who are you to doubt my music? Cause I call the shots, I choose if you die. Yeah, I call the shots and so I choose who survives. I'll tie you up in knots when I lock you inside.
So like I said, this is not a reaction video, but I would like to point to the video production itself. So the first thing is that he does live performances for his videos, and he does them in one take. And I mention this because bards back in the day were deliberately not taught to read and write. They were incredibly well educated, but it was an oral tradition, right? And they held everything in their memory, and did not write anything down. And so whether he's doing this consciously or not, I have no idea, but I feel like he strongly honours the tradition of the bard by doing his videos in this way with a single take and as a live performance. The other thing I would like to point to is the simplicity and the directness of it, you know. It's just him in a wheelchair with a lamp either side of him playing the guitar. That's it, right? Like the incredible stripped down simplicity of it, and yet with just that set and the flickering of the lights and the changing of body posture and the different strummings of the guitar and the different strainings of the voice, he incredibly effectively and powerfully creates this switching of mood from positive to negative, for want of better terms. So that's that. It's obviously a very personal song, like this inner dialogue, this inner battle. We've all had it many times in our lives, I have no doubt. I mean, just making this video, I've had thoughts of, am I actually bringing anything new, anything of value, anything original at all to this? Am I just using Ren's popularity to drive traffic to my channel for a bit of self-aggrandizement? I mean, obviously I don't believe I'm acting out of those motives, but I could be deluding myself. You know, we lie to ourselves, we deny things, we delude ourselves all of the time. If we didn't do that, if we actually knew ourselves, if we were actually transparent to ourselves, we would not require psychotherapy, we would not require religion, you know, that kind of thing. So it is obviously very personal, but that said, I think there's a really universal thing, which is why it has its universal appeal. And so although it speaks very individually to each person where they are given their own particular situation, their own particular set of relationships and conflicts and whatever, it also touches on this universal sense of there being something missing. Yeah, so things are not quite right. I'm not quite what I want to be. I'm not good enough. I'm insufficient. I'm inadequate. I'm unlovable. You know, this kind of stuff, this permeates the culture incredibly widely. And it's the touching into that sense of inadequacy that I believe we all feel to some degree that makes this song so universally appealing. Some of you may be familiar with Richard Rudd's work, The Gene Keys. The Gene Keys speaks of a core wound that we come into the world with that we are born with. Being separated from the one, right, from God, from the divine, however you want to conceive of these things. That act of separation is a trauma, and so we carry that trauma into our incarnate lives. And so part of the human experience is this sense of there being something missing. I know from my own journey that as I have become more aware of this sense of inadequacy in me, and I like to think more and more coming to terms with it and connecting to it and having a relationship with it and not letting it rule me in the way that it used to, because, you know, as you bring it into consciousness, it loses some of its power over you. But the more I have allowed it into my own awareness, the more I see how it pervades the culture and how we buy things and medicate ourselves and go on holidays and play games and drink and whatever in order to not feel that sense of inadequacy, or at the very least to distract ourselves from it for a little while. And this is why we set ourselves goals and have achievements and all of this kind of thing in an attempt to validate ourselves, to make ourselves feel as though we are worthy of being alive. And so we have this hole inside of us that we look to other people to fill, right? Or we look to the outside world, not just other people, but the outside world in general to fill. And of course, the people that we are looking to help fill our sense of emptiness are themselves empty. So it's kind of funny, it's sad really, but it's also kind of funny that you have loads and loads of people feeling insufficient and inadequate, going around trying to make other people feel more sufficient and more adequate. And of course, this is a losing battle. So like I said, these videos are about exploring underlying universal themes in Ren's music, and this to me, this section, this is what it says to me. It's speaking to that universal sense of, I don't really belong in this world, something's not quite right, something's missing, something's wrong with me, I'm not good enough. Okay, so let's get back to it. That first section was quite a sort of personal dialogue within himself, right? The reason I've paused here before moving into the next section is, and I don't think this spoils anything, very much more of a transpersonal, impersonal, say, dialogue between opposing eternal forces, something like that, right? And so there's a definite switch of mood and tone and intensity into the second section here. All right, enjoy.
Newsflash! I was created at the dawn of creation. I am temptation. I am the snake in Eden. I am the reason for treason. Beheading all kings, I am sin, with no rhyme or reason. Son of the morning, Lucifer, Antichrist, father of lies. Mistopheles, truth in a blender, deceitful pretender, the banished avenger, the righteous surrender. When standing in front of my solar eclipse, my name is stitched to your lips. So you see, I won't bow to the will of a mortal, feeble and normal. You wanna kill me? I'm eternal immortal. I live in every decision that catalyzes chaos, that causes division. I live inside death, the beginning of end. I am you, you are me, I am you, Ren. Hi, Ren. I've been taking some time to be distant. I've been taking some time to be still. I've been taking some time to be by myself, and I've spent half my life ill. But just as sure as the tide starts turning, just as sure as the night has dawned, just as sure as the rainfall soon runs dry when you stand in an eye of a storm. I was made to be tested and twisted. I was made to be broken and beat. I was made by his hand, it's all part of his plan that I stand on my own 2 feet. And you know me, my will is eternal. And you know me, you've met me before. Face to face with a beast, I will rise from the east and I'll settle on the ocean floor. And I go by many names also. Some people know me as hope. Some people know me as the voice that you hear when you loosen the noose on the rope. And you know how I know that I'll prosper? 'Cause I stand here beside you today. I have stood in the flames that cremated my brain, and I didn't once flinch or shake. So cower at the man I've become when I sing from the top of my lungs. That I won't retire, I'll stand in your fire, inspire that me to be strong. And when I am gone, I will rise in the music that I left behind. Ferocious, persistent, immortal like you, we're acclimated different sides.
So there's a couple of things I'd like to point to in this section. So this is obviously like the ultimate expression of the internal battle between, say, the positive and the negative aspects of himself. And so you have, you know, all of the negativity that exists in the universe. Well, here I am, right? Cards on the table. Here I am. This is what I do. This is my job. When it's good, I corrupt it. You know, when it's solid, I dissolve it. You know, that's my job, is to corrupt and to destroy. And then along comes, yeah. Well, I'm also here all the time, right? I'm hope. I spring eternal also. So these are like the archetypes of good and evil, we call it in Western culture, the negative principle and positive principle, something like that they might call it in Eastern philosophy. And that these two things have always been and will always be at war with each other. But the other thing I'd like to point to is that this could very well be the end of the song, right? Good triumphs over evil, triumphant guitar, singing, you know, joyful, exuberant. Good triumphs over evil once and for all. But of course that's not the end of the song. There is one final section where he just speaks directly to the camera. And so I'm going to stop there for now, and I'm going to play the final section, and then I'll come back with a few closing thoughts.
When I was 17 years old, I shouted out into an empty room, into a blank canvas, that I would defeat the forces of evil. And for the next 10 years of my life, I suffered the consequences, with autoimmunity, illness, and psychosis. As I got older, I realized there were no real winners and there were no real losers in psychological warfare, but there were victims and there were students. It wasn't David versus Goliath. It was a pendulum, eternally swaying from the dark to the light. And the more intensely that the light shone, the darker the shadow it cast. It was never really a battle for me to win. It was an eternal dance. And like a dance, the more rigid I became, the harder it got. The more I cursed my clumsy footsteps, the more I struggled. So I got older, and I learned to relax, and I learned to soften, and that dance got easier. It is this eternal dance that separates human beings from angels, from demons, from gods. And I must not forget, we must not forget, that we are human beings.
I really, really wish more people understood this idea, and by understand, I don't mean understand like you understand how to do long division. I mean understand like you understand how ice is cold, you know, experientially understand this. It's very easy to understand it propositionally, but to actually grok it, right, to actually grok it fully, I wish more people did, you know, that opposites are not at war with each other. Good and evil are not at war with each other. Love and hate are not at war with each other. Up and down are not at war with each other. They depend on each other. They are partners. They are merely different perspectives on the same thing. I mean, imagine only ever wanting to go up, right? Oh, don't like down, so I'm only ever going up. Well, you know, you leave the house, you walk up the stairs, and that's it. You can never ever come home again, you know? Like this idea of grasping at one pair of opposites and pushing the other one away. It's absurd. It's ridiculous. You can't do it. All it is going to do is create turbulence, imbalance, and strife and suffering. And this is what we do. Instead of allowing these polarities to dance with each other, we choose one as good and one as bad, and we expend all of this energy pursuing the good part and pushing away the bad part, which of course we can't do. They come as a matching pair. And so, like I said, I really wish more people understood this, because, you know, we turn away from pain, we turn away from discomfort, we turn away from sadness, we turn away from grief, where these things are important to experience. They're all part of the rich tapestry, and they have something to show us, they have something to teach us. And so by turning away from them, we ignore whatever it is that they are trying to point us towards. But that thing is still there. We still need to see it at some point. And so the pain gets greater, the suffering gets greater, until we finally, that's what it's trying to tell me. And then finally it can work its way through. But it can't ever do that if we are forever turning away and pushing away. So this idea of pairs of opposites dancing with each other, and the dance goes on forever. And the dance contains everything. It contains all of the joy and all of the beauty and all of the ugliness and all of the suffering and all of the pain and all of the everything, right? It's all of it is part of the dance. I really wish more people understood this. Okay, that's all I'm going to say about this song. One final thing, I'm going to play out with another song. Much of Ren's work is quite heavy, and it goes into some quite challenging, difficult, dark parts of the human experience. He plays with a band called The Big Push. They just go out on the streets of Brighton and busk, essentially. This is his background, is as a busker. And they play with a freedom and a joy and an exuberance, and just it's lovely to watch. And so I think it might provide quite a nice contrast to much of his published work, which is really quite introspective and heavy. This is much lighter and more joyful, and so I hope you enjoy that, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Thank you so much for watching.
Alright, are you all ready to like do this and that and like jump up and down and that? Alright, cool. Get home in the morning light. My mother says, when you gonna live your life right? Well, mother dear, we're not the fortunate one. The girls just wanna have fun. All the girls just wanna have fun. Hey! And then bring it right down. In the middle of the night, my father says, when you gonna do with your life? Well, daddy dear, you know that you're still number one. But girls just wanna have fun. Girls just wanna have, that's what they want, it's what they want. Oh, fun, it's what they really want. And I said, when the working